Hello everyone, welcome back to this particular stream. Yes, so we are live over YouTube. Let me just double check. So for your kind information, this particular video is going to be on ethical communication. All right, so please allow me a minute to share the link with everyone of our ODCH community. And after that, we will be starting this particular stream. All right. Yes. Just a second. Okay, so without any further delay, let's proceed ahead in this particular stream. All right, so the topic for this particular video is going to be ethical communication. All right, so most of you must have not might have not heard about this thing earlier. Communication is communication, right? What is ethical communication? So we will understand this in today's session itself. All right. So let's get started without any further delay. All right. Let me share my screen. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. So let's get started. Yeah, so let's begin this particular topic with a very simple but a substantial thought or a quote that should provoke something within you. All right, that particular quote is: "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Okay, Marcus Aurelius said this particular quote, and it reflects that how big an impact does the thoughts that you have in your mind have on your life, right? So the soul, your soul becomes dyed. You do understand why the meaning of dying, right? So it is getting colored uh, with the thoughts that you are fostering or developing or cultivating in your mind, right? So that is the quote that I wanted to highlight before starting the session. All right. Yes. So let's proceed ahead and understand what exactly is ethical communication. All right. So, what is ethical communication? The first thing is ethical communication is all about being honest in what you say, ensuring transparency in your intentions, and showing respect for others. All right. It is all about being honest in whatever you say and maintaining transparency with your intentions. Yes, and showing respect for others while communicating. All right. So it demands clarity, consciousness, truthfulness, and a strong sense of responsibility. Yes, this is something that Sorry about that. I think my screen is not being shared. Okay, yeah, it is now getting shared. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think there was a technical issue because of which my screen was not being shared. Okay, nevertheless, let's begin this again. Yeah. So I was talking about this particular quote. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, right? So that was the quote that we just discussed. The introduction. Yes, what exactly is ethical communication? Okay. So ethical communication is all about being honest in what you say, ensuring transparency in your intentions, and showing respect for others. All right. Yes, and ethical communication demands clarity, consciousness, truthfulness, and a strong sense of responsibility, right? So this is something that we just discussed, and it is just self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain it any further. Think about a situation where you are communicating with someone and you feel that that person is not sharing everything. They are holding something or the other back to themselves. We do get this feeling a lot of time, right? So how do you feel then? You don't feel correct, right? You don't feel good. Now imagine when you try to do it, the other person will be having the same kind of feeling, right? Correct. So it's all a circle, right? So we will be coming back to that particular point after a few moments, right? So let's now focus on a few things because of which we feel that ethical communication matters, right? So why is it crucial? It is crucial because it helps build trust and credibility, right? Whenever you are truthful, you are honest, people will start trusting you. You will create a credibility of your own self, and with those you interact with whether it's your personal or your professional setting, right? So it is very important for you to be honest in your communications. All right, having the pure intentions and being able to communicate in the best possible way is the most important thing in today's day and time, right? So by practicing ethical communication, we can maintain healthier and more meaningful relationships and prevent misunderstandings in both our personal and professional life, and as well in our societal or social life as well, right? So that was about the introduction for ethical communication. All right, let's have a look at the pillars. What exactly are the pillars of ethical communication? All right, so honesty is the first, and you must have heard this quote: honesty is the best policy, right? So honesty means sharing information truthfully without any attempt to deceive or mislead others, right? It's about being straightforward even when the truth might be uncomfortable, right? That is honesty, correct? And honesty in its continuous form, if you practice honesty for a long period of time, it becomes integrity, right? Honesty in its continuous form is integrity, right? So that is the first pillar for ethical communication. Let's have a look at the second one, that is transparency. Transparency involves being open and clear about your intentions. What exactly is your intention, right? Only if you have pure intentions, if you have clear intentions, you have positive intentions, you will be able to share them with others. So as a person, we need to rethink about our intentions at the first place, right? Yes, your decisions and your actions, right? Correct. So your intentions will lead to a decision and your decisions will lead to an action, right? So it's all linked. Okay. So transparency involves being open and clear about your intentions, your decisions, and your actions. It's about sharing the right information at the right time, and it appeals individuals to trust you. Once you start following this, the trustworthiness will spike, right, on you. Okay, so that was the second pillar for ethical communication. So the third one is respect, and yes, it matters a lot. Respect in communication means acknowledging and valuing others' perspectives, even when they differ from you or your own perspective. It's about maintaining professionalism and avoiding harmful or dismissive language. Yes, how many of you have felt bad when someone tries to reject you based on your opinion or your perspective, or you want to state something, but the other person is not at all accepting or willing to understand that there can be multiple things that can coexist together, right? Multiple ideologies, multiple school of thoughts, multiple ideas, multiple concepts, multiple XYZ, right? So all of them can coexist. And there are some people who are not able to understand that particular thing, because of which they feel that whatever I think, whatever I feel, whatever I do is correct, and anyone else doing anything is incorrect. So, no, as a society, we need to encourage being able to accept others' perspective as well. All right. Yes. So, respecting others' perspective and actions, maybe, or decisions, maybe, is very crucial in order to have ethical communication. All right. Yes. So this was the third pillar for ethical communication. Okay. Yes. Now, there are a few guidelines for ethical standards. Okay. Let's have a look at the guidelines. Okay. So consistency is the first one out of all four of them. So consistency in your messaging is crucial for maintaining credibility. Okay. Being consistent in your messages. Yes, if you are saying something today, it should not be contradicting with something that you said 3 days back, right? I'm talking about things that depends on your emotions, on your ideology, on your thought process, not about things that can change over time, right? So things that reflect your nature should be consistent over time. Otherwise, people will feel that you are switching to various things and you are not stable or constant with something that you should be constant at, right? So consistency is one of the most important thing when it comes to being able to communicate in an ethical way, right? So consistency in your messaging is crucial for maintaining credibility. Inconsistent messages can lead to confusion and mistrust. Okay, if you are inconsistent with your message, it will lead to confusion, no doubt about it. And over a period of time, people will not be able to trust you, right? Because they will feel that this person said something else previously and is changing their statement now. Who knows, going ahead, they can change again, right? So, how will I be able to trust you if you are not consistent with your messages, right? Make sure your words and action align over time, reinforcing your reliability, right? So, if you are saying something, hold your ground and make it happen. If your words reflect something else and your actions reflect something else, there's a gap, and that gap will lead others, or will indicate that you are someone who is not practicing what you preach, right? So be mindful about it. Yes, if you are someone who is always trying to overcome it and finding it difficult to deliver, start committing less. It is always better to undercommit and over deliver, right? Why do you need to overcommit always? And while doing the job or the task, you feel it to be very difficult, and you do something which is substandard, and those who were being committed by from your side are dissatisfied. Which one do you think is good? always under committing and over delivering is the best policy. Okay. Yes. So let's move on to the next part, and that is accountability. Yes, accountability. Accountability makes means taking responsibility of your words and action. All right. If you make a mistake, own it and work to correct it. Right. Accountability means that you are responsible for whatever actions or whatever words that you said or did or said, right? So maybe there might be instances where your words and your actions will go wrong and not according to the best interest of everyone. There you have to take responsibility that yes, I did this, I said this, and I am sorry if it hurt someone or if it was not proper or accurate or correct for this particular situation. I acknowledge that this particular thing should not have been done at the first place, but my intentions were not to hurt others or harm others. I will try to not repeat it any further. Yes, you doing this will lead others to trust you more than escaping from your mistakes or your difficult or your challenges or mistakes that you have done, right? So always take ownership, right? Always take the ownership and be accountable for the task or the words that you said or the actions that you did, right? So this approach builds trust and shows other that you are committed to ethical communication. All right. That was about accountability. The next and most important thing is inclusivity. Yes, being sensitive, aware of, and respecting differences in all forms. Yes, we are social animals. Humans are social animals, and every single individual is different, right? Your perception is different from the one standing beside you, right? How can we say that everyone needs to think in a similar way? How can we say that everyone needs to do a particular thing in a similar way, same kind of way? No, it is not at all possible, right? So be aware of the various differences that exist in all forms, including cultural differences, including gender or sex related differences, including racial differences, right? Including differences between nationality, right? So, all these are something that you should be aware about while communicating so that you don't hurt the other person's feeling, emotions, and other or related aspects, right? So avoid languages or behaviors that could be offensive or misunderstood due to any kind of stereotype that your message might reflect, right? Ensuring inclusivity and respect in communication, all right? It is possible that at times your message could contain a subtle level of stereotypeness because of your background, your upbringing, your environment, which might not be acceptable for the other person because they have a completely different background. They have a completely different um, societal upbringing, right? So be aware about your own self so that you don't hurt others while communicating, right? That is one thing that you need to keep uh, as one of the most foremost uh, aspect while communicating in in the professional or social environment, right? Yes. And this in this part of the world, I'm talking about Odisha and India. uh, I have observed a lot that patriarchy has been instilled in our mind to such a deep level that we don't even feel that there is a need to be gender neutral in our statements. While saying something, you need to be gender neutral. ଏଇଟା ଯେବେ ଆମେ ରିଅଲାଇଜ କରିବୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମକୁ ଜଣା ପଡିବ ଏଇଟା right? Very subtle way ame kahi do ki he, where we could have said he or she. If we are talking about business, most of the time, I just attended a seminar and someone asked a question to the faculty, that if someone is starting a business, he should be do what are the things that he should be not doing in order to success. Yes, that was the question that he asked. In order to do, in order to start a business, what someone should not be doing. That could be said, being gender neutral, but what he said was patriarchal. In बहुत छोटिया way रे से गोटे से he लगे देले, which might reflect that business कोन खाली पुआ माने ही करिवे, झियो मानन ପାଇଁ कोन business allowed नहीं करिवे, सामना वाला एटा बुझी पारिबो. They will not think कि आपण भूल रे कहिचंती कि आपण एते भाबिचंती कि नहीं कहला पूर्वरु आपनको पाटरू बाहरी गला एमती. No, those all things are not acceptable at the workplace. Yes, mistake to happen, but you should be aware about those, right? He could have said, instead of saying what are the things that he should avoid in order to succeed, se jagare they kahi parthante se, he or she kahi parthante se, right? So inclusivity, again, this was a very subtle example jota reflect kore that we somewhere are biased and have certain prejudice, right? So try to get rid of them. The better, the faster and the earlier it is better, right? Okay, moving on to, yeah, so avoid languages or language or behavior that could be offensive or misunderstood due to any kind of stereotype that your message might reflect, ensuring inclusivity and respect in communication. All right, this point was covered. The next thing is fact checking. Yes, always verify the accuracy of the information that you share. Being ethical requires you to be accurate, right? You cannot just share something based on things that you saw or heard or read. You need to double check it. You need to have proper backing to it, so that you are aware that this is something that I am quoting or sharing is absolutely 100% correct. It is not like something that would be with clauses, with asterisks, with star marks, terms and conditions applied. No, no. To be ethical, you need to have that within you, so that people will be able to trust you with your information or things that you share. Yes, misinformations can spread very quickly and damage your credibility. All right. So this fact checking is another very important aspect to guidelines for maintaining ethical standards in your communication. All right. Okay, so next up we have common ethical dilemmas. Okay, there are a few things that we get confused while communicating, right? How many of you feel that, अरे मेरे को ethical भी रहना है, but at the same time I have to be strict, और मेरे को transparent भी रखना है, but at the same time I have to maintain the privacy, right? So all these things we'll be discussing in this particular part. All right, so let's go one by one. Yes, so the first thing is white lies versus brutally honesty. Okay, सफेद झूठ आपने ये सब सुना होगा कहीं ना कहीं पर, right? So white lies versus brutal honesty. Okay, let's have a look. What exactly is it? We often face the dilemma of whether to tell a small lie to avoid hurting someone's feelings or to be brutally honest. It is common. It is very prevalent. It happens a lot with us, right? To maintain multiple interest, we have to be politically correct at times. Yes, so we often face this dilemma, or whatever you pronounce it. The key is to balance honesty with sensitivity, right? And here I quote again, I mean, this is my point of view, and I am open to accept others' perspective regarding this, that life and everything related to it are not at extremes. Anything related to life are not at extremes. Yes, and it exists in somewhere in the middle. So if your life is a pendulum, try to maintain the equilibrium, right? So being a bit nerdy, right? So not an issue. Let's follow this and complete this first, and we'll be discussing that later. So we often face this dilemma of telling the brutal truth or saying a bit of lie in order to make the other person feelings not hurt or something like that. So the key is to balance honesty with sensitivity. Delivering the truth in a way that is constructive and not hurtful is the way. Okay. When you want to balance between both of them, you need to deliver the truth in such a way that it feels like you are suggesting them or you are sharing it in a constructive way and not hurting them by telling the truth, right? So that is the middle path, right? Yes. So that was about white lies versus brutal honesty. Yes, often it must have happened in your life or it will happen in your life, and you cannot escape it. There you have to play it very mindfully. All right. So the next thing that we often get confused is between confidentiality versus transparency. Okay. So there are times when you need to choose between keeping information confidential and also being transparent at the same time. So you have to choose one. Is it? No. In such cases, it's important to respect privacy while sharing enough context to maintain openness. All right. So you have to choose a middle ground in that, right? The middle ground is along with respecting the privacy and maintaining confidentiality, you share enough things that the other person feels that yes, I know enough about it. Any further asking any further will not be okay because that will hamper the other person's privacy, right? So that's the thing. Okay. The next thing that we often get confused is between persuasion and manipulation. This is a major one. Everyone, please have bring your focus back. Yes, persuasion is something that people do in order to help you take a decision. Manipulation is something where what people do to force you take a decision. Okay, so this is the basic way of the most basic way of making them understand to you. So let's have a look what exactly do we have on our screen. Persuading someone ethically is about presenting them facts and benefits, but without trying to manipulate their decisions. Okay, so persuasion is ethical, but manipulation is not. Okay, always ensure that your intentions are clear and that you are not coercing or deceiving others. That is the key. Okay, if you are coercing or deceiving others, that is manipulation. But if you are presenting all the facts to them and you are sharing all the benefits that they will get out of it, and you are helping them with the intention of helping them, if you share something with them, then it is called persuasion. Okay, so persuasion versus manipulation, very important. You need to have a clear understanding between both of them. All right. Yes, so that you can persuade and not others manipulate you. Okay, wonderful. Next up we have the practical applications of things that can help us to be ethical in our communication. All right. So in professional setting, ethical communication can enhance team dynamics and improve client relationship. And the key here to make it happen is by being clear, consistent, and respectful in all of your interactions. You are sending a mail, you are meeting in person, you are presenting a presentation, you are pitching an idea, you are just having a chit chat with your colleagues. No matter what, if you stand your ground and you are ethical about your communication or whatever you want to say, yes, you are purely expressing your intentions. That is something will help you uh, be someone who is trustworthy in a professional setting, right? Yes. Next up, we in the personal relationship, uh, ethical communication is key to maintaining trust and respect, right? Being honest, transparent, and respectful can help you navigate difficult conversations, and it helps us strengthen bond in our relationships, right? Be it your relationship with your spouse, your parents, your friends, your um, relatives, no matter what, your siblings. Yes, so that was about maintaining ethical communication in personal relationship. Okay, and in digital communication, of course, it is important to practice ethics because the world is looking at you. Yes, and you never know who, where, may or might take your message in a negative way if at all you shade, if at all you say it in that particular way, right? So be mindful of how you communicate on social media, in email, through other digital platform, because your words there will reflect your integrity, and that will again reflect on your credibility, right? So people will start trusting you, will start following you, will start understanding your perspective if you make the first thing correct, that is being ethical in whatever you are communicating. All right. Yes. Okay. So that was about the application that we can do in order to uh, make our communication ethical, right? So there are a few more points I'll be talking about them, but before that, let me share that communication is something which helps you to exchange your ideas, your thoughts. Yes, and in today's day and world, where everyone is able to fetch information that is freely available over the internet, the way you present it makes the difference. Information is available to everyone. You cannot differentiate yourself in terms of information. Of course, if you dig deep into it, yes, you will have more information. But the way in which you present it makes the difference, right? So in that particular part, communication will make a difference, right? So we at ODCH here help individuals to make your English communication better. Why English? Because it is a global language today. And we are committed to help individuals who are skilled enough, who are having wonderful talent within them, to reach, at least to reach to that particular position or that particular ground where they can compete equally with other fellow mates of the planet Earth. Why that someone from Australia will have an edge despite being of the same talent as someone from Aurangabad? Yes, talent the same here. But because the person from Aurangabad is not able to communicate or express whatever ideas or interest or um, theories that they have, skills, टैलेंट जो भी उनके पास है, वो उन्हें बेस्ट वे में सामने नहीं रख पा रहे हैं, इसी वजह से वो पिछड़ के रह रहे हैं. Why should that happen? No, it should not. And for that, we are helping you to improve your communication. Please do check out the links in the description to know more about our services. So, moving ahead towards the conclusion, I want to say a very crucial thing to all of you. Yes, and that is communication is not just about what you say, but how you say it. Is not just about what you say. लोगों को लगता है कि हाँ, मेरा कंटेंट अगर सही है, मैं अगर अच्छे से मतलब सब कुछ फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स प्रेजेंट कर दूंगा, then I'll be different from others. No, it is not just about it. Yes, it plays an important role, but it's more about how you say it. If I say thank you so much, how will you feel? If I say thank you so much, how will you feel? So there's a difference between both of them. I just attended a master class, and there the faculty gave an example of this. If I say thank you so much and get out, so you feel the difference between both of them. Thank you so much is polite, and get out is rude. But if I say thank you so much and you may please get out, so the modulation changes and the intention behind it changes according to you, right? So words didn't change, or content didn't change, but how you said it changed, because of which the feeling related to it changed, right? So understand that communication is not just about what you say, but how you say it. So a very crucial quote that you can see over your screen. This is directly from the Holy Bible, and do to others what you would have them do to you, right? So this particular quote is generally or commonly known as treat others how you would like to be treated, right? But yeah, it conveys the same message. कैसा लगेगा अगर जिस तरह आप अपने किसी दोस्त को या फिर एनीवन, इट हैपेंस कि हाँ, क्या क्या फर्क पड़ता है, मैं 5 मिनट पहले अगर उन्हें बुला लूं एंड कन्वेइंग द सेम मैसेज कि हाँ भाई मैं निकल चुका हूँ घर से, जबकि आपको निकलने में अभी 10-15 मिनट और बाकी है, सामने वाला वेट कर रहा है आपका 10-15 मिनट से, right? Maybe between friends it is common, but not in the professional world. The other person whom you will make that person wait for 10-15 minutes might have done something else which would have been important for him or her, right? Instead of that, that person dedicated time to you, and you made him or her wait for 15 minutes, let's say, because that was something that you used to do in your life with your along with your friends. आपको तो कुछ डिफरेंट नहीं लगता, बट उनके हो सकता है उनके लिए वो 10-15 मिनट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, but the next time he will not do the same with you. Yes, it what goes around comes around, right? He will again make you wait for like 10-15 minutes or more than that maybe, because he will understand that this person is not true to his words or her words, right? So understand this, okay? दोस्तों के बीच में ये बहुत होता है कि हाँ निकल चुका हूँ घर से, बट जबकि अभी जस्ट नींद से उठे ही होंगे, राइट? एंड उन्हें लगता है कि हाँ क्या हो गया, सामने वाला 5-10 मिनट वेट कर लेगा तो क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है, राइट? बट कीप योर सेल्फ इन दैट पोजिशन when you are committed something and you were not made available of it, right? You were not made it achieved. How do you feel? Yes, always keep yourself in the other person's shoes and you will feel how necessary it is to being an ethical communicator. All right. The last point that I want all of you to focus is to take a moment to reflect on your communication practices and think about how you can uphold ethical standards in your interactions. Yes, very important for all of you to please reflect on your communication practices. How do I do it? क्या मैं ओवर कमिट करता हूँ, करती हूँ, एंड डिलीवर करते टाइम उतना नहीं कर पाती? देन यू नीड टू टोन डाउन. क्या मैं जो भी कमिट करता हूँ उसको अच्छी तरीके से डिलीवर कर पा रहा हूँ? देन इट्स वेल एंड गुड. Otherwise, you need to rethink about all of them, right? So this was all about ethical communication in a summary. There is a lot more aspect that can be added to this, and you all need to understand the importance of it. Yes, हाँ, बोल देते हैं, कर देते हैं, कुछ भी होगा देखा जाएगा. ये बहुत ही एक गंदा अप्रोच है. Yes, this is a very bad approach. When it comes to your personal and professional life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So even if you do something with your friends with which might be fun for you for the time being, that will stay with you when you enter the professional world, and others will not like because they are not your friend there, right? So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So keep a watch on your thoughts, words, and actions. Okay. So with that, I would like to take a leave. I will catch up with you in another such wonderful topic of discussion, in another such of video. Till then, take care of yourself and do comment how did you like this particular video. I understand that this was a very descriptive and a very lengthy video. Some of you might have get bored and already must have left the video by now. But those of you who stayed till the end, I request you to please comment in the chat box that completed. Completed आप लिखोगे तो मुझे पता चलेगा कि आपने वीडियो कंप्लीट देखा है, right? So thank you so much for watching this video and hoping that you understand the importance of communication to reach the best potential that you can. With that, I will take a leave. Thank you so much once again, everyone, for tuning into this video. Take care. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.